All right, this is my second time trying to film this because I tried to film this yesterday and I was it didn't go well. I was really fucking tired, and I even wanted to do this earlier today, but I just couldn't get myself in the mood to want to have some energy and want to film something and talk in front of a camera. I don't know why. I'm just kind of feeling a little off today. Um, Although, things are looking great outside of videos. I'm sure the three of you who are watching this video are my personal friends and already know this. However, things are going a little better. Got a new job, and I'm starting there in a couple days. Quit the old one, which fucking sucked. But yeah, so I'm feeling pretty good. I'm living. I'm feeling it. So, sorry about not getting a video out last Friday. I am, on one hand, it's like, well, I gave you an hour-long discussion video, and on the other hand, it wasn't a fucking, wasn't an episode of, Stuck at Home Movies. Forgot the name of my own series. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know. I watched, three movies actually, and I mean this is gonna be I think I'm gonna make this a double review for both Iron Man 1 and 2. We're gonna have another Stuck at Home Movies double feature, baby. And also because I don't have a whole lot to say about one movie or the other, and I figured, well, instead of just having two like 5-minute videos, we'll do one longer video. But yeah, let's just jump into it. So let's talk about Iron Man first. I like Iron Man as the movie. I thought it was pretty good. It's the beginning of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it definitely feels different. They hadn't. This is long before they found like a formula to use for the movies, and were able to get into it and do that for every movie to varying degrees of success, of course. And I have to say, this was one of the only, again, I've said for a while that I want to do the MCU movies on this channel, because I've always wanted to get into it. Iron Man 1 is one of the only movies in the series that I've actually already seen. And I don't know, I didn't like it as much as I did when I first saw it. It's still good, I remember being more into it, which, I don't know. That could mean anything, maybe I was just at a different point in my life. That's not as important, I just figured I'd mention it. It's still a good movie, it's still a lot of fun. It has a different feeling, the only other Marvel movies I have seen before now were, I saw like the first 20 minutes of Thor, bits and pieces of Captain America, and like the only ones that I saw all the way through were Avengers 1 and then both Guardians of the Galaxy. I just haven't gotten into it. And I've wanted to, eh. But it's hard to watch these movies or this one without the knowledge of the rest of the franchise, without the rest of everything. It's not like watching, it's a different feeling to like watching like a prequel and knowing how things have to end up. It's not exactly like that. It's more like, because usually prequel stories are written in a way that you're not looking for what happened, you're looking for how it happened, Like saying that at the end of the Star Wars prequels, Anakin turns into Darth Vader isn't a spoiler, but how it happens very much is. Where with a movie that's more an actual linear series, and they're coming out in chronological order, except for the ones that don't, of course, it's harder to be invested because, these movies are massive, so everyone knows what happens. I know what happens in fucking Endgame. It's impossible to not know. Not just because I have like friends who talk about it, but just because they are such a big pop culture phenomenon, which isn't automatically a bad thing. Definitely not. I'm not gonna be one of those people that's like, oh, it's it sucks because it's popular. No, fuck you. Like, it's a movie. It's made for kids. Are you kidding? Like, No shit, it's good that it's popular. It's supposed to be popular. That doesn't mean it's bad. Just because something is designed to appeal to a large amount of people, that doesn't mean it's bad, you know? But speaking of that, you know, it is this, obviously these movies are made for children primarily. Not that adults can't find enjoyment in things, you know, there's never, just because something is made for one target audience doesn't mean that people from another target audience can't, who like aren't part of that audience, can't enjoy it. That's stupid. Like, if you're if you are again, I say this all the time, but if you're an adult who's like too scared to watch cartoons because they don't want to look like a weirdo or whatever, get over it, man. How insecure and immature is that to like not just like what you want to like because you like it and not needing any justification for it? Like, come on, dude. But speaking of this movie being made for kids, this one's like more violent than the others. Like, not that like people don't die or whatever, but this just feels like there's a little more, it feels more adult than the later ones do, which is just, again, not necessarily a bad thing, but I was like surprised. Like, and I've seen this movie before, and I don't remember like the scenes with the 10 Rings, the terrorist group. You know, it's like, oh wow, that's a little more extreme than I thought it would be. Like, the part that got me is when Obadiah, which is Jeff Bridges' character, which I'll get to him in a second. Like when he's using the paralyzer thing on, he uses it on the 10 Rings leader, whose name I don't remember, and also on Tony. And then like there's the part where Tony's like paralyzed and there's like blood coming out of his ear and his skin is all pale. I'm like, bro, this is like, I'm getting like actually uncomfortable, you know? Like, I don't like this, bro. I feel weird. I feel really uncomfortable. Like, and not in like a bad way, but like not like in a way that is to the movie's detriment. Like, you're supposed to be scared in those scenes, obviously. But it's like, I wanted to watch the fun superhero movie, and now I'm getting this weird shit. Which I guess is the point of the movie, is that it's a more real, like, that's the point of superhero movies, right? It's a more realistic take on the character because it's in live action. It has to be. If you have a live action superhero movie and the characters all act really goofy like they would in like the source material, it doesn't work as well, you know? That's why like whenever a movie adaptation of like an anime or something comes out, like remember a few years ago the Death Note like Netflix movie came out and it was fucking terrible, and it's like, no shit, you can't, it doesn't translate. That's why anime movies don't work, is because they try to have the characters act like anime characters, like cartoon characters, which doesn't, very rare. You need a talented actor or an actor/writer team to be able to pull that off, and a lot of the times it doesn't, so these movies end up being bad. Which is, you know, just how different mediums have different strengths and weaknesses. So using your live action movies or TV as your medium comes with its own strengths and weaknesses, the same way animation does, the same way that even like within that movies versus TV shows do. And yeah, you know, I kind of want to talk more about the MCU as a whole, but I'm going to wait until later in these. Just about the idea of not just having like a series, like again, I'll use Star Wars as an example. Sorry. No, I'll use Star Wars as an example, you know. It's where it is like, yeah, all the comics and books and video games and whatever are in the same universe, but it's not like it's a million different movies all in the same universe. It is a different kind of thing. Similar, but different. Just the idea of a shared universe definitely is interesting. And I'm honestly, again, I haven't watched most of the movies, so that's, and I am going to upload these as part of Stuck at Home Movies. But what I am going to do is I'm going to kind of upload them more sporadically. I think I'm just going to, because I've been trying to stick to a schedule, and I feel like that is both holding me back from uploading as much, and also making me, when I haven't watched anything, it's like, oh, I gotta watch something and do this, which is fine, but I'd like to at least have one video a week. I think because you got nothing last week, I am going to try to do more than one upload this week, because after this video there is another one. I don't know when it's going to come out. I do need to watch, I have plans to watch more stuff this week, and again, go from there. And I kind of want to do, before Melody of Memory comes out, I kind of want to do more with that, just talking about it, just because I love Kingdom Hearts, y'all know me. But yeah, I'm definitely excited. I'm definitely excited to keep going with this. But anyway, back to the actual movie, why you clicked on the video. Again, good movie. Love the action. Again, it feels more violent, which I realize is both the point and the point is that it's more violent and more like, because, Iron Man isn't a superhero. Tony isn't a superhero yet, He isn't he isn't, like, when you think of a superhero, you think of Iron Man. Well, Tony isn't Iron Man yet. He has the suit. He doesn't come up with the name until the last, 5 minutes of the movie. But it's interesting. Again, it shows the progression of his character from here and then in the other movies. So definitely like that. Who else? Let's talk about the other. I like to do characters. I like to talk about characters more, just because that's usually easier than doing like a straight plot synopsis. Because it's like, what do you want? You want me to read the fucking Wikipedia article and summarize that on the plot of the movie? No, I'm good. You can do that yourself. What am I, a Reddit tuber? Where you're gonna come and where I get to get like 50,000 views just for reading a post on r/amItheasshole? Fuck off. I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna just read shit to you. Although that actually, I have had an idea for a series where I do just read shit. But whatever, you know what? Nothing against Reddit tubers, or at least not against the ones who actually talk about what they're reading. Everything against the people who just read shit. Or the ones who just like put shit into a fucking text-to-speech machine and then let it go. And then it's just like, ooh, money machine go burr, Fuck you guys. I thought my content was low effort. Jesus Christ. Anyway, me hating Reddit tubers aside, good movie, nothing wrong with it, I don't really have any, real problems with it. I kind of I want to try doing, rankings of, all the MCU movies as I go further, because I don't know, it's hard, this one is hard for me to really, I would need to see more movies like it before I just give it, a score out of 5 or 10 or whatever. Right now, it's probably sitting at a 3 out of 5 or something. It's not, it's fun, not amazing. I think as far as Marvel movies go, they can reach higher heights as things go on, but we'll see. Anyway, yeah, and just talk about Tony's character a little more. He's everyone knows who he is. The genius, millionaire, playboy, philanthropist. That whole spiel. Yeah, it's fine. He's good, and he's an overconfident asshole, and he remains an overconfident asshole, but he's realized that he's an asshole and wants to change, which is you can have a character who is like that, and they are still sarcastic or kind of rude or whatever, while still being a good guy. And that's part of what makes him a fun character, is that he has the charisma and is he doesn't take anything seriously while still being a hero, while still being a good guy. He's just not, he doesn't really, he hasn't realized what he's doing outside of murder is wrong, and maybe selling weapons is evil. So yeah, it's nice, you know. It's nice that he doesn't. On one hand, it's like, well, I would like him, and this is kind of going into his character in Iron Man 2. It's like, yeah, it's nice that his character doesn't just change on a dime. He doesn't just have, yeah, he has a moment where he realizes that his whole life he's been doing things wrong, but it's not, he doesn't change. On one hand, he doesn't change as much as you'd want him to, but on the other hand, it's like, well, there's more movies for him to do that, and it allows him to have a slower character progression, which is more realistic and more, or at least I'm hoping it does, which is just better generally. And that's usually a good thing. However, in that same vein, it's like, I don't want to watch a whole movie and then have the character barely progress at all. But, you know, it is what it is. I mean, the movies are out. I have a fucking Disney Plus. I'm going to watch them all. And I'll definitely have... I mean, after Endgame, I'll be able to make my final judgment on his character, you know? No spoilers, of course. Is Endgame the most... I was going to say, like, and it's just... I'm going to say, like, no matter what happens to him, Endgame's the most recent movie, but it's not. Far From Home is. Or did Ant-Man and the Wasp come out after that? Whatever. They're you know, I'll get to them all, of course. Let's keep going through the characters. We have Obadiah, which ends up becoming Ironmonger. Cool. You know, I actually thought he was an original character. I didn't realize that he was based on a character from the comics until I was, you know, doing a little bit of research just to refresh my knowledge, because it has been a little while since I actually watched the movies. And I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, wow. He was actually... I thought, because, you know, the idea of just having a guy who makes a bigger, more evil-looking Iron Man suit isn't the most creative thing in the world. But then again, the character is fucking, what, 100 years old at this point? No, not 100 years old. Like 70 years old? I don't know. Anyway, the character of Iron Man is very old, so it makes sense that not every villain he fights is going to be the most creative or interesting. And that's fine. It's just kind of funny. Although this is a good villain for the first movie. It's a good first villain. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about him. I mean, he's cool, you know. He's acted well. I mean, the whole movie is, none of their actors are particularly bad, or the writing's solid. Of course, love Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark. He's amazing. The only person I have a problem with is Gwyneth Paltrow as Pepper Potts, which, if you've been on the internet for any length of time, you might have an idea why I feel that way. Because whenever I look at her and I'm trying to suspend my disbelief, which is, you know, you gotta do that, especially in a fucking superhero movie, of, like, duh. You can't come into things being like, oh, that's not realistic. Like, yeah, no shit. It's so hard, though, whenever I look at Gwyneth Paltrow and all I see is goop. And I see a woman who tried to sell a jade egg that you stick in your pussy. All I see is a woman who, yeah, you're trying to get me to believe that she has this chemistry with Tony Stark, and they have this, like, will they, won't they bullshit. Where it's like, oh, does he really like her? Does he really care about anyone but himself? Oh, but she cares about him so much, and she's much more responsible than him. And then all I see is psychic vampire repellent, and it's just like, I'm trying, guys. I'm always, you know, And I hate myself for it because I'm always the guy who's like, oh, you gotta separate the art from the artist, you know, just because whoever who wrote that song or made that movie or whatever is actually a terrible person. You know, that doesn't automatically mean that what they created is terrible. Why am I able to do that for that, but not for this? Maybe it's because she's not an amazing actress anyway, and she's not amazing, or maybe it's just because I have seen her more. I've seen more of Gwyneth Paltrow in videos on YouTube making fun of Goop than I have in movies. Because what else is she even in? I don't know. Other than the Iron Man movies. I didn't know she was in anything else. I'm not big into like Hollywood and shit, you know? I don't know the name. I don't know every actor and actress by name and face, you know? I mean, obviously, you know, ones like from shit I've seen and love, but like my boy Paul Bettany, who voices Jarvis, love him. Y'all should watch A Knight's Tale. He's awesome. And also Solo. He's not amazing in that. He doesn't have a lot of screen time, and I think he's better as more of a comedic actor than a dramatic one, like his character in Solo is. But Solo's a good movie. I like Solo. But yeah, not the biggest fan of Gwyneth Paltrow. I'm trying to think of another thing from the Goop store, but I honestly, the Jade Egg and the Psychic Vampire Repellent are the... Oh, didn't she make a candle that smelled like her vagina or something? Wasn't that a thing? It's fucking terrible. Like, it's not even... What's terrible isn't that she did it, it's that she did it and sold it to people. That's the terrible part. It's like, are you kidding me? People will make fun of Gwyneth Paltrow for selling a candle that obviously doesn't actually smell like her vagina, and then will buy Belle Delphine Gamer Girl bathwater. That's an old meme. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I mentioned something that isn't immediately relevant in the current week. But anyway, I think that's all I gotta say about Iron Man 1. I think that's all the characters and everything. Of course, we have the awesome after credits scene with Nick Fury showing up, Sam Jackson. I know him. He's cool. Definitely know him for reasons other than Star Wars. I considered chugging this bottle, but it's mostly full, and also I've done that before on camera, and it's never gone well. So we're gonna chill out. I mean, that's why I'm sitting, you know. I really liked doing a video sitting down with the Melody of Memory video. As much as I love standing up, I'm just having trouble figuring out where to put the camera in a place where I don't have to stack it up because I'm tall, and then have to not move around a whole lot because it'll shake the floor because I'm stacking it on empty Funko Pop boxes. But I mean, it's worked so far, so why have I stopped? I don't know, maybe because I'm... what did I eat that I'm like, I keep like hiccuping, kind of? I'm sorry, you didn't want to hear this, I'm sure, but I keep like doing it, and I haven't eaten since breakfast. I had a bowl of Crave cereal for breakfast. I don't know what's... I should eat lunch. I should. It's almost 3:30. I mean, I'm looking at a clock that says 3:30, but that clock's fast, so it's almost 3:30. Well, it's a little after 3:30. It just hit 3:33 on the clock, but it's a little bit after. So anyway, let's talk about Iron Man 2. I don't know. I think if I had to rank them at this point, it'd probably be Iron Man 1, then Iron Man 2. Just how good of movies they are. Because Iron Man 2 isn't amazing. I mean, they changed the actor for Rhodey. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention him. In the first movie, he's, I think, better written, not necessarily acted. I don't really prefer one over the other. I don't remember the names of them. And they're both cool. I mean, like, they're both fine, but honestly, I think he's better written in the first movie as like a straight man to Tony, and then he's just, I feel like there are scenes where I want him to be there in Iron Man 2 and he's just not. Which makes sense that it's scenes that it would be kind of weird for him to show up during. Or just to see his reaction to things. Like, if I'm remembering correctly, like during the scene where Tony has a midlife crisis and decides to participate in the race, he's not there, and I wish he was so I could see his reaction, you know? And, you know, it is what it is, though. It's not terrible, but not by any means. It's just, well, you know, a lot of the stuff is just, oh, well, this was fine, but I'd prefer if they did it like this. You know, I don't, like, have strong opinions like I did with, like, for example, Star Wars Episode 9, where I'm like, no, they should have done it this way. It would have been so much better. And, you know, I'm actually mad. I'm not, maybe it's because I'm not as passionate about Marvel as I am with Star Wars. That might be it. But I'm just like, or probably because that's a bad movie and this is a decent movie. I think the characters are all pretty good. The new ones are like Justin Hammer, who is fine. I mean, the problem with him is that the point of his character is that he's like the anti-Tony Stark, you know? He's like he wants to be Tony's evil twin, but he doesn't have the charisma, which is fine and good. It's like, yeah, you can have a character who just wants to be another character and is inferior, but the way they wrote him, the way they did him, the whole time he's on screen, the only thing I'm thinking is like, man, I wish I was watching Tony right now, because he's a better character. Although the part of the problem in this one is that he's not as funny because he thinks he's gonna die, which is, you know, he does the whole thing where it's like, oh, I can't tell anyone that I have this disease that's gonna kill me in like 2 weeks. It's like, okay, dude, maybe you should. And can I point out how fucking goofy it is that, alright, so Tony's dad is like this Walt Disney type of guy who's like, oh, I'm gonna save the world and make it a better place with Tomorrowland, blah, blah, blah. And he makes the Stark Expo, and it is so stupid that why did he... Alright, so he hides the plan, the discovery or the hint to how to make it in a diorama of like a theme park type of thing, like World's Fair type of thing, not really a theme park, but like a World's Fair type of thing he's doing in the diorama for the plan for it that only gets used in like a promotional video for it. What? That's so like... I'm not saying you couldn't do that plotline where in like something that Tony's father had created. I'm sorry, I'm fixing my hair. But I'm not saying you couldn't do that. Have something that Tony's father is trying to like hint at in something that he made, and then it's Tony finding these clues, and then that's something that will save him. But it's like, how the hell did Tony's father know that his son would make the arc reactor as a thing in his chest to keep his heart from having shrapnel go inside of it and kill him? And the only thing that was like gonna stop that is he needed to make it out of a different kind of metal so that he wouldn't be poisoned by the metal, and the metal that he needs is like some special one that was discovered by his father. I'm just... there's just so much and so many hoops you have to jump through. It's so ridiculous. And it's like, okay, sure, in a comic book it'd be like, are you kidding me? That's so stupid, but it can work, you know? In a live action movie, it doesn't work. It comes across like, again, I'll make a Star Wars comparison to like Episode 9, but it's like how the fucking the Sith dagger or whatever lined up perfectly with the ruins of the Death Star, and it was just given to some bounty hunter type dude who was told to go kill some people with. It's just. And then it's just so one character could be like, yes, I had the plan all along. I knew you would find my breadcrumbs and it would bring you right to me. Like, what? How many hoops do I have to jump through to get to the stupid conclusion? Are you kidding me? Again, each of these individual elements are fine and cool. But when you put them all together and try to stitch them together and make it seem like it's actually smart or thought out, it's bad. It doesn't work. And it just leaves me thinking like, that was it? Are you kidding me? It's like, yes, the number of trees is the number of protons, and the number of concession stands is the electrons. It's okay. You know what? I just barely passed chemistry in 11th grade. I'm sorry, I don't remember everything and how a fucking element is made. An atom. That's what it is. It's like, again. But then why didn't Tony's father go forward and be like, yes, I have discovered a new element? Why did Tony have to create it? Like, it's not like the man was dying or was running low on resources or something. Like, I don't get it. That was both a yell and a yawn, if you couldn't tell. Oh, let's talk about the plot. Fuck. Whiplash. Ivan Vanko? Is it Vanko? The Russian guy. His superhero name is Whiplash, which I knew before watching the movie. Like, when I saw he made the whips. I'm like, oh, that's Whiplash, because I've heard of the character before. And I'm just like... okay, he's fine. It's so many. He makes his own arc reactor. Whoa, some of the technology can be replicated. Oh, and he's being used by Justin Hammer. Oh, he betrayed Justin Hammer. Oh, it's just lame, man. I'm not. It doesn't make me happy, you know. Like, the first Iron Man works for what it is, but it's like they were trying to do the fun, and then the superheroes are gonna fight the robot army and save all the people. Which I have to say, I did like the one moment where Tony saves the kid with the Iron Man helmet on, and because a robot wants to kill it because he sees the kid wearing the Iron Man helmet, and he's like, oh no, and it's like, oh, I gotta save the kid, and he does, and he's like, hey, nice job, kid, because the kid used the repulsor blast or whatever it's called to destroy the robot. It's cute. I like stuff like that. I'm a sucker for things like that, especially in superhero movies. But when they're done well, of course. But it's like, with the robots and they're evil, they're gonna kill everyone. It's just, oh man, I get it. Especially in the Marvel movies, the two superheroes team up to fight an army of robots isn't anything new. It's just like, it's just lame in this one. I don't know how to put it into words. It's just lame, dude. And then having, although I have to say, them, also, you know what? I got another thing to complain about that pissed me off. It didn't really piss me off as much as the element thing, but alright, so they're doing stuff with, S.H.I.E.L.D. now, so Nick Fury shows up, and so does Black Widow, and, so does Philip Coulson, who was in the first one, but whatever. And it's just like, okay, so the stuff with Black Widow is cool, you know? It's like, again, it's like, man, I really would have liked to watch this movie and not know that she's actually working for S.H.I.E.L.D. until they reveal that and be shocked. But, that's impossible at this point. Although, You know what? Actually, probably they probably used the hall, like the fight scene with Black Widow in the trailers, which is a good scene. Honestly, if I being 100% honest, that's probably my favorite fight scene in the movie. Is it's of Black Widow fighting all the guards in the hallway trying to get to the computer room so she can save, or I guess not technically, I mean indirectly save Rhodey because he's inside of the one Iron Man suit. And eventually Tony's gonna have to kill him, like so she can get to the computer room where Ivan is supposed to be. She I don't know, I just like that. I think she's cool. I mean, the only other movie I saw her in was Avengers, and she doesn't really ever get a chance to shine in that movie that I remember, because again, she's up against, it's very hard to make someone who is like this normal human person, who is like this badass spy who's fighting normal people. It's hard to make that cool when she's put next to, you know, Captain America and Thor and Iron Man and the Hulk, you know? I'm sorry, I just had a flashback to the gif of Hulk and Black Widow. I've seen that too many times. Anyway, you know, yeah, and she's cool. She's fine in this one. I don't have any problem with her. Again, I think the reveal of her actually working for S.H.I.E.L.D. is okay. And I mean, she's pretty. I like her. I think she's cute. Is she married? She's probably married. That's not relevant at all. It's just like, you know, you can be attracted to one of the most famous actresses in the world. You know, famed Asian actress Scarlett Johansson. You know, she's done so much for the Asian community in Hollywood. I'm saying that ironically. That's a joke, obviously. Is she married? I think she is. I assume she is. I mean, everyone is in Hollywood is married to each other, you know? Again, not really relevant. Again, you can find a human person attractive, especially when, again, they are one of the most famous actors in Hollywood right now. Feel bad, though, that, I don't know when the Black Widow movie's coming out. Now that I'm talking about her. That's rough. Anyway. I think that's all I got. Oh yeah, Whiplash. He's just so forgettable. I mean, the scene at when he attacks Tony on the racetrack is kind of cool, but beyond that, it's just, You know, he doesn't. It sucks that his best scenes are the ones where he's working or kind of playing off of Justin Hammer, who's like, again, he's trying to be like Tony, but he's all bark and no bite, you know? He doesn't have any of he has nothing to back it up, you know? Like he lets Ivan walk all over him, and which is kind of funny, but I don't love it. It's not amazing. Again, it's like, and then Tony and Venko only get one scene together, and they never really get to, like, there's the reveal from Fury like halfway through the movie where he's like, oh yeah, actually your father worked with Vanko's father and then had him deported and sent to the Gulag in Soviet Russia because he wanted to sell blah blah blah. And it's like, what did he want to sell the arc reactor? Which in the first movie, doesn't Obadiah say something like, "Oh, the arc reactor is we just made it doesn't actually like work as well as we wanted it to. You made it to shut the hippies up." And it's like, well, wait a minute. Was it special or not? Or am I thinking of something else? Again, so much of the second movie is so forgettable that I just don't care, man. I just don't care. And then it's fine. Again, I can't think of anything to say other than, like, overall, I can't sum up how I feel in one sentence. Like, you can say, like, oh, I thought it was good, and this was the best part. Oh, it's got some problems, but it does blah, blah, blah very well. My whole opinion on the movie is, it's fine. It's definitely Iron Man 1 is better. You know, when I first ended the movie, and I'm thinking, all right, well, how would I rank them? Which one do I like more? I had a hard time. But now that I'm actually having to put my feelings into words, you know what? Yeah, Iron Man 1, great, fine. It's 6 or 7 out of 10. Not amazing, good. It's on the positive end of the scale. Iron Man 2, fucking 4 out of 10. It is, if you're, like, it's one of those movies where you can watch it with a kid and you can both enjoy, like, you watch it with, like, your son or whatever, because they're like, oh, I want to watch Iron Man on Disney Plus, and cool, okay, we'll watch Iron Man, kiddo, and it'll be great. The movie was fucking lame, man. I like how I'm progressively getting angrier at the movie as I go on. And you know what, aside from the Black Widow scene, the only actual fight scene with Iron Man in it that I liked, because again, the one at the end it's okay. I mean, it was kind of meh up until Rhodey gets control of himself again, which then once they team up, it's pretty good. I kind of enjoyed it. It feels like it would be the worst fight scene in a better movie, you know? One that has a lot of different scenes. But it's just not that good. It's like, and it's supposed to be the big climactic one, because then Whiplash comes out, which I even forgot that until I was looking at the thing, I forgot that Whiplash showed up at the end. I knew he disappeared and wasn't there when Black Widow got to the computer room, but I just forgot what was going on, and I'm like, oh, yeah. He showed up to fight Rhodey and Tony. And then it's like, it's so forgettable. And it's lame. I mean, I thought they did some cool stuff with when he showed up at the racetrack, where he's like, the electricity from the whips, like, burns off his shirt. So you see, like, the like, exoskeleton thing that he made with the arc reactor. That's some cool stuff, you know? That's neat. And, I did like, during the Black Widow fight, it keeps cutting back to, which I don't think they actually call her Black Widow in this movie, but whatever. Cuts back to Happy, the bodyguard character, just fighting one guy. And then, like, after he beats him, he's like, yeah, I got him. And then he turns over and sees, like, the hallway of these other guys who've all been knocked out. At least, I don't know, she probably killed him. Which is something I've never been a fan of, is the, like, oh, I can't kill the bad guy. I can kill all of his fucking henchmen, though. But the last one, I gotta keep him alive. It's like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Whatever, though. It's fine. I did like that, although I kind of liked the fight between Rhodey, and it's short, it's nothing amazing, but the fight between Rhodey and Tony at Tony's house during the party, I kind of liked that one. I thought that was pretty good. I thought it was cool. But other than that, what's the stuff with, oh, you know what? When, like, they place Tony under house arrest, and Philip Coulson is like, now you're gonna sit here and work on whatever Fury told me to tell you to work on, and you're not gonna leave, and if you try to leave, I'll knock you out and watch, what does he say, Super Nanny? And then he's gone, you know, it's like, and they could have, and then there's never, and then he just leaves and comes back, and they never address that until later on when he's working and Coulson comes in and says, hey, I gotta head out, something happened in New Mexico. And it's like, wait, where were you 20 minutes ago when he left to go see Pepper? Are you kidding me? That's probably my biggest gripe with the movie, is that. And there's so many better ways, and you could have changed that minimally. Like, you could have had a scene where you could have just done something where, like, right after he says that, it immediately cuts to Tony already gone. And then that's it, you know? It could have cut to him already, like, in the car on the road. And it's like, oh, yeah, all right, so he didn't do shit. He didn't keep Tony at all. That would have been funny, you know? That would have been good. They didn't do that, though, did they? No, they didn't. And it just ends up being kind of bad. Or they could have, and then, like, another way they could have done is have Tony get most of the work done to make this new element, looking at old shit from that was his father's, and then you could have just edited this. Like, I'm sure it's possible to just edit the existing movie to make it different, and then have Coulson come and say, hey, I gotta go, you're free to go, just do what you gotta do. I believe you, but I gotta get to New Mexico because the next movie is calling me. And then that happens. And then, and it's like, maybe right before that, he has this realization where he's like, you know what, I should apologize to Pepper, I should do blah, 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 blah. And then we have the scene with Phil, and then he goes, and then he gets the diorama, and then comes back and makes it. And what was the point of, I'm sure this will get, like, mentioned in Captain America, which is coming up. But why did Tony's father have, like, an old shield of Captain America's? Where did he get that? I mean, I know at this point it's just like a, oh, Captain America's shield, you know, but whatever, man. And it seems like Coulson knows what it is. He's like, hey, I already get this. This is special. This is important. And like, that's like the emotion that you're supposed to feel. But then Tony's just like, oh yeah, let me use it to prop something else up. Like, whatever, man. Maybe it'll get mentioned that, like, maybe Tony's, I mean, you know, Captain America worked with the military, so that's probably, and then so did Tony's father, of course, so that's probably, it'll have something to do with that. That's how they'll explain it away. That's fine. That's really it. It's a movie, man. It's okay. No, it's not okay. It's bad. It's a 4 out of 10. It's so forgettable. It's such a nothing movie, you know? It's just nothing. There's no good part of that. Man, that fucking sucked. I hated that. That's bullshit, man. I think that's all I gotta say. I think I had an angry video game nerd rage moment. And I think that's where I should end it. I have already seen Thor. I'll probably film a Thor review, which hopefully won't be as long as this one, in a little bit. And you'll probably get it by the end of the week. Maybe this one will go up on late Wednesday. That's when I'm filming it, on Wednesday. So maybe this one will go up on Wednesday, and the Thor will go up on Friday. And I gotta watch Captain America soon. I skipped Hulk because that's not on Disney Plus, and also, who gives a shit? I have no I can't find it anywhere, and I haven't heard that it's any good, so I'm not gonna like go out and look for it. I'm not gonna spend the $3 to rent the movie on like digitally or whatever. I don't care, man. I don't care about the Hulk. I mean, I do, but like I don't give a shit, man. I'm gonna do a review for Thor, and then I'm gonna watch Captain America, and then I'm gonna watch the Avengers, and then Iron Man 3, and then I don't know what comes next after. I looked up a list online of everything in release order, and it like includes the TV shows and stuff. So I'll probably do the shows as well, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Carter, and I can't wait to watch Marvel's Cloak and Dagger. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe I'll actually like it. Who knows? We'll see what happens though. You know, I'm open to liking anything. I mean, I want to watch all of this stuff. And unless I watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I'm like, this blows, man. We'll see. Maybe I can hate watch it, you know? Maybe that'll be fun. Maybe watching something while being angry at it will be a little more fun. Or at the very least, I'll watch it with my younger brother and we'll rip on it the whole time. Because he's the reason why I finally started watching these. Because I walked in on him one day watching Captain America, and I'm like, hey, do you want to watch the rest of these movies together? And he's like, yeah, get caught up. And then I got caught up, and actually, I haven't watched Captain America, but he was watching them chronologically. He started with Captain America, so checkmate, you fucker. I just flashed my titties at the screen. I'm a guy. It's okay. I can show my titties whenever I want. But I think that's it. I think we're good. That'll be the last thing that this will get. I'm more likely to get demonetized for calling. From joking that Scarlett Johansson is Asian because of her constantly playing Asian characters despite the fact that she's white. I'm sooner gonna get demonetized for that. Not that my channel is anywhere near big enough to get monetized in the first place, but I'll get demonetized for that before I get demonetized for lifting my shirt up when I wanted while like dramatically adjusting my clothes. But yeah. So, I think that's all I gotta say. I don't think I have any more updates to make. Hopefully, the Thor video won't be this long, and hopefully Captain America won't. I just lumped these two together because I thought I didn't have a lot to say about either of them, but judging by the runtime of this video, I guess I did, but I should probably just end it here. I was gonna do a joke where I end the video in mid-sentence, but I forgot to say the rest of the sentence, so it feels natural. So, I'm sorry.